Hi everyone, welcome back to our enterprise vault, not vault. If you're exploring enterprise backup solution or preparing for a Commvault interview in coming days, then you are in right place. Today we are going to discuss about the fundamental concept of storage policy. So generally, when you set an interview, the interviewer asks, "Can you please define the storage policy in Commvault?" And what exactly is a storage policy? Even they can ask, can you define the various type of the storage policy? Why we need storage policy in Commvault? Okay, so here we are going to discuss each and every concept. Why we need, what is storage policy, everything. Okay, is storage policy. Okay, what is a storage policy in Commvault? Why we need to create a storage policy? Is nothing but why we need. We are going to discuss here. A storage policy defines the life cycle management rules of all protected data. So it is a nothing but it is a life cycle management rules. That means how we are going to protect our data in our environment. As I'm saying, how we are going to protect our environment, that means it has a multiple rules. That is, what is the retention policy we are going to set for the particular data or the particular cycle or the particular rules. Okay, what is the path of the data? That means where we can store this data. Okay, so in its most basic form, a storage policy act as a container. That means with one or a more set of rules that define how data will be managed in our infra. Okay, so these rules are called the storage policy copies. In future we are going to discuss what is the copies, what is the various type of the copies in storage policy, selective copy, primary copy, snap copy, everything we are going to discuss in the coming lecture. So within the storage policy, there's a multiple copies can be created and each their own set of rules. That means every copies have their own rules. Own rules, that means we can define the data path, retention. Retentions is nothing but how we can retain that data. 7 days 2 cycle, 7 days 1 cycle, 14 days 1 cycle. We can define here. So here we are going to discuss primary rules of storage policy. When anyone asks to you what is the primary rules, I mean primary rules for storage policy in our environment here, in your environment here, in your current environment. So there are three primary rules in storage policy must have defined. That is, what is data? If you are currently working on the Commvault, then always you check that all storage policy are associated with some clients or subclient. Okay, so what is data? That means which data we are going to protect from this storage policy or the particular storage policy is determined through subclient association. And the second point, where will data be stored? That means this line explains that the data path is nothing where you define in library. In coming lecture we are going to define what is the library. I can make a short view and upload it here. And the last thing, how long will data be kept? That means is defined the retention. What is the retention policy of that data? Okay. And this is controlled by the retention setting. There's a different setting, different tab. When we are going to some lab work, then definitely I am going to define each and every component. Okay. And comes to the second question, what are the various type of storage policy used in Commvault? Okay, so if you're talking about the various type, we refer to that standard, incremental, disaster recovery, backup. And when anyone asks in your Commvault interview that which is commonly used in our environment, in our infra, which policy we are going to define? So without hesitation, without any wait, you can say that standard, in because mostly in current environment we are using the standard policy. So mainly there are three type of the policy type in Commvault: standard, incremental, disaster recovery, backup. So the next question is asked in interview, what is standard storage policy in Commvault? So just saying, it is the most commonly used policy type in Commvault. It defines how data is backed up, stored, and retained across the various sub client. Okay. The second question, that is the incremental storage policy. This is the something different. Okay. So if you have a background, what is the incremental backup? Then easily you can understand the incremental storage policy. Okay. So an incremental storage policy is designed especially to handle the incremental and the differential backup. You have, if you have any questions regarding the incremental or differential backup, if you have any questions regarding the type of the backups, just put in the chat that we need some videos on the type of the backups in our Commvault in our environment. So I am going and explain each and everything from the very granular level. Okay, it allows you to separate the full backups from the smaller, more frequent backups, and optimizing the storage uses and the backup windows. I know this definition is not totally understood by you, but if you comment in, if you go and comment that we need a video on that type of the backups in our environment, so definitely I'm going and make a video on that particular topic. Okay, the third one is the disaster recovery backup. The name is disaster recovery backup, so basically same. uh, if there is some disaster, if you correlate this word, the disaster, that everything is shut down in your environment, uh, and everything gone, then what you can do, what as a backup administration, or you are working as an Commvault administrator. So what you are going to take action to recover your data in your for your environment. Okay, so disaster recovery backup is the Commvault specialized backup designed to protect and store the concept database and the configuration metadata, metadata in the event of the failure, such as the hardware loss, ransomware attack, or the system corruption. And I hope you are going to explain me in the comment section what is the concept database. Okay, so these are the type of the storage policies. Here we discussed what is the storage policy. Okay, and the bonus point. The bonus point is that if you're uh, working on any current any organizations, and if faces any issues like a backup failure, and backup failed due to this reason and you're not able to analyze from the logs, then what you do? You just go to the combo support and log a case. Okay, and the combo support guys comes and that they ask that they need some logs. Okay, so what logs you need to send to the convert support is the basic that concept database. I'm not going to explain here the concept database because the if you are going to explain the concept database and everything, then it's going long and you guys are feeling bored. Okay, let's finish this here. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, then please drop your comment. I definitely uh, reply your comment, reply your questions. If you have any questions regarding the Commvault, then please put in the comment section. I will reply definitely. And if it is possible, then I'm going to make a video for that error or the for that failure. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Stay stay with me with the more questions. Thank you again.